Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Knurdz community and the Leo Club of the University of Moratuwa, I warmly welcome all of you to today's GitHub Actions webinar. Before we begin, I would like to congratulate all the teams who have become finalists of Deploy Spring 2026. Your hard work and dedication have brought you this far, and we wish you all the very best for the competition ahead. Deploy Sprint is an initiative that provides undergraduate students with practical knowledge in modern software development and deployment through hands-on boot camps and technical webinars. Today's webinar is designed to give you a practical introduction to GitHub Actions and how it can be used to automate software development workflows. Throughout this session, you will learn the fundamentals of GitHub Actions, explore the basic workflow triggers, understand how CI/CD simplifies development, and see everything comes together in a live demonstration. We hope today's sessions give you a practical knowledge that you can apply in your own projects. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. We are honored to have Mr. Dineth Siriwardana with us today. He is a mobile engineer at MAJSTRO Solution, a community lead of the Microsoft IT Pro community, and a former Gold Microsoft Learn student ambassador. He is an experienced community speaker who has conducted numerous technical sessions, helping students and developers to gain hand-on experience in modern software development and cloud technologies. We are delighted to have him with us today. Without further delay, please join me in welcoming Mr. Dineth Siriwardana. Over to you, dear sir. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So before we start the session, can you please put down your ear and experience about the action in the chat, please? Are you a beginner to the GitHub action? No, you used it day to day or what? With the ear. Is chat disabled for others or what? Okay, nice. Okay, so I will try my best to go through everything in the GitHub Actions and teach you something. But before I start the session, I have something to mention. Currently, I'm running some super powerful GitHub, Docker containers in my Mac. So I'm super running low in the storage, and sometimes the screen share might be like disconnected. So if that happens, please tell me, okay? One of the OC members can do it. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's go. Okay, can you see my screen? All good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So let's bring that here. Okay. Simply, GitHub is something that you are going to go through as a software engineer for your lifetime. Okay, so previously GitHub Actions most of the time used by DevOps, but now it is a must thing for the SICs. So because now we are deploying our own projects to the DevOps. So DevOps engineers using actions, and then DevOps engineers just optimize those things and push that to the production. Before we start, as the as a introduce me, like I'm Dineth Siriwardana, mobile engineer at MAJSTRO, and I'm a community leader in Microsoft IT Pro community and former Gold Microsoft Student Ambassador, and I am GitHub Actions certified. Okay, so in previous like 10 years ago, we used like manual testing for everything, and after that we push that to the like building our own computers and push that to the production, and it's fine, but until we had a lot of uh we got Microsoft microservice architecture and a lot of environment like client environment, development environment, client development environment, and open world testing environment, a lot of environment. So we had to manage a lot of environments. Like if you are familiar with I hope you're familiar with the development. We use .ini file, right? But when it's come to the lot of environment, we had to use like .prod.tne, .dev.tne, .opentesting.tne, lot of things. So the thing is, when we uh, push those to the production and we are testing those things, as a humans, we can do errors, right? Especially like 5 or 6 months ago, in my company, in a client project, like it's something, it's a US project, US client. So they had a huge event, and they push to the Pep store. And after the releasing, I realized I just pushed the dev environment to the App Store. Uh, like when real client open the app, they just see the dev environment. When it's come to the web, we can just change it and we can do a build. But the thing is, when it's come to the app publication, we have to build it, and we need to send it for the review. So Apple team will review it manually and then approve it. It's take around at least 1 day to just review. So we got a lot of complaint about the app, and it's it's cost to drop our reputation, and that's something as a developers, as a like I'm working in the mobile and the mobile deployment as well. So it's something really bad for our company. Then we have something called CI/CD, uh, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So it means continuous integration and continuous delivery. So it means we are uh, we are developing. After develop, we just push that into the repository like GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab. Then using some pre-coded file, we automate that thing, and we build all the uh, artifacts in the repo itself and test it and push to the cloud platform just without any human interaction. The thing is, after we build one successful development deployment, we don't need to worry about the errors. Like it automatically test everything, build everything, and deploy everything. So if there's any error, it will directly throw us an error, and we can fix it. And the thing is, usually when you work with the team, like we have like from the interns to tech lead. Most of the time, as a developer, as an engineer, interns, software engineers, and senior software engineers are the working the code most of the time. So sometimes people do mistake, and when we have a automation, we can identify that errors before we build it and push it. That's why we need some automation tool. And when it's come to the automation tool, most of the companies, most of the IT community use GitHub, and GitHub has a nice automation tool called Action, and that's what we are going to discover today. Okay, it's really simple. We have event, workflow, job step. It means we have an event that we are going to tell GitHub Action, just trigger this happen. After that, we have a work profile. It's contain everything like how we are going to deploy, how we are going to build, and which branch, and what are the runners we are going to use, and everything. Inside that workflow file, as a step and jobs, we are define everything like install npm, then build. So for build, we have few steps like setting environments, uh, like cleaning caches and everything. So after that, we are getting final build from an action. So this is the our example project we are going to do. I will show this slide later, so you can do the every demo testing with me. Okay, in here we talk about that work profile, right? So when it's come to the GitHub Actions or GitHub, we are storing that workflow file inside .github folder. Under that, we have something called workflow folder, and inside that we can create we can add any name and YAML or YML extension. YAML is a language that most of the time we are used for automations and actions, and like or we can use it like storing metadata or something like if you are familiar with Flutter, we are using perspec.yml file to store everything about Flutter app, like app version, what are the packages we are using. It's similar to the JSON, but we are using like tabs and other things to maintain the flow. I will explain it later in the demo. Okay, so this is a basic workflow file. Here you can see we have a name and on push branches. So it means it's on when it's come to the push this branch or branches. You can use an array. So this is the basic structure of action as well as a YAML file. We are just separate the steps or actions or the levels using tabs. So if you have missed any tab, it means it will be a error. So when you are typing these kind of things, if you see any space like before starting the line, like in the test T, and okay, I have annotations like okay, drop that. Nice, something like this. You can just use you must use tabs. Don't use space. Sometimes it's work, but the most of the time it's going to be a really buggy. So this is not any space. Sorry, it's not a tab. It's a space. But for all kind of these things, like we are using space. You can see the line separator, right? Okay. Let me run this. So in the meantime, if you have any question, just ask in the chat as well. Are we clear? So are there anyone who cannot understand Sinhala? just drop me a message or raise your hands, please. Are there anyone who cannot understand Sinhala? Okay, we can continue this session in Sinhala. Yeah, I think all good, right? And what about the speed? Do I need to slow down or what? Guys, come on, please interact with me in the chat. I'm waiting. Yeah, it's okay. Nice. Okay, so these are the basic tree on keywords. It means like we have the on here, right? Using Zoom a lot of time. Okay, nice. You can see we have this on. Okay, nice. We have this on thing, and we have few different way to on that. First is using push. You can see here we have this push method. So it will trigger when we push something that branch, the given branch, or the PR one, the pull request one. So think we are going to create a pull request to the release branch. When we write that action with the pull request trigger, it will trigger when we are creating the pull request. So we can do the test and everything, and using some GitHub call that permission and restriction, we can just stop that being creating a pull until the test passed. It means like when we are like we have think like we have different branches, like we have, I think you have an idea about GitHub, right? Otherwise just let me know. Okay, think like we have branch 1, 2 and branch 3. This is a dev branch. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay, it's the series. Nice. Okay, so thing is we are going to push from third branch to the second branch. Then in here, this is something like dev branch, and after that we are going to put that into the release branch. So before release that, we are going to add that pull request thing, pull request trigger, and it will trigger when we create the pull request and like do the testing and everything. And after that we can like add, if it's failed, we can let's disable the PR request merge, we can disable the merge in the PR request, or otherwise if it's fast, if it's fast, we can just allow this. And schedules. Okay, so if you're aware about cron jobs means like we can schedule things run on this time, uh, every Monday on a week, every 14th of any month. Like we have a lot of numbering, we have a numbering system, then we can set up by date, by time, and every month, every year, lot of things. So when we use a schedule, GitHub automatically run it on that day. Think like we have to flush the cache on every Saturday night, Saturday night around 11:30 p.m. So we can schedule a cron job in the GitHub Actions, and we can use that for uh, clean the caches without having any human involvement. So basically, you can do the things. If you are a team, so when your team changing code and you are pushing everything to the dev branch, you can use that pull request trigger. It will check all the things and pass all the tests, check all the tests, and if they all passed, you can allow them to move that. And after that, you have a branch called release. In the release branch, we have a push trigger, and after we merge to that release branch, it's take as a push, so it will automatically build, test again, and deploy to the cloud backend or cloud frontend or EC2 or whatever the VPS or whatever service you used. And after that, you can schedule a cron job, like it's running on every 1 hour. The thing is, every system has a health endpoint, right? You can trigger that health endpoint, and with 404 or 500 or anything, you can get an SMS. Sorry, SMS we can do that, but easy way is you can get a GitHub alert or mail alert. So you know your system is always up and running, right? And if not, you can check the server's storage, RAM, and everything. So you can get an idea about how your server is running stage. It's going to be crash or something like that. So that's the main usage of GitHub Action triggering systems. And today most of the time, I'm going to talk about that push one because it's same, but just different purposes. Okay, branch aware automations. The thing is, when it's come to the GitHub Actions, it's really annoying. If it's going to run every time we push, right? Like in here, it's only going to push on the branch testing. So in here, we have few type of uh, branch areas. Like we can just select main branch or release dash the star marks. It means it will run on every branch start with release. Like release dev, release prod, something like that. And you can just save these branches with the double quotation or without double quotation. It's kind of pull request, same logic, same concept, we are just use pull request instead of push. Any questions up to now? No. Okay. Nice. This is something interesting because as a if you are need to become a DevOps or something, surely it's really boring. Okay. I'm a mobile engineer and I work with okay, so I will give you that answer. Give me a few minutes. Okay. I will collect five or three questions and answer them. Okay. So the thing is, as a mobile engineer, and I work in the iOS, Android, and WatchOS, Apple Watches. So end of the day, I have something to see in my phone or watch. But when it's come to the DevOps, it's just most of the time it's just a black screen. and lot of codes. But when it's come to job and parallelism, we can see something animated. Okay, that's the main thing. But these are two different things. Jobs means it will run one by one, like way, yeah, it's like a single, like a queue. So think like if you need to publish any next day, so any other application to the production, first you must set up the environment. Then you have to uh, run it, then do the tests, then build, then push to the server. The thing is, you can't miss any of the step. Like if you don't build that, you can't do a push to the servers, right? So in here, you can see uh, if we don't set up this, we can't build, right? We can't build those things. And if we don't build it properly, we can't just push that. We can't push it. Or if we like in here, we have a bundle. And if they both finished, we can do a release, right? So after build the APK, we can send that to the Firebase app distribution. But if we don't build both of these, we can't create the GitHub release. That's how parallelism came. So think we can set up our environment, then we have the like all the npm installed, all the node version installed, everything. So we can divide our action to two parallel or multiple parallel something like servers, but not servers, runners, and we can build it. So it take less time. Like if we do this in a as a parallel, it's a sequentially job, it will take around 12 minutes to build the release, 13 minutes build to a bundle, and it's like almost like 25 minutes, right? But in here, it works as a parallel. So it's only take 13.5 seconds, 13 minutes and 5 seconds to finish everything and go to the GitHub release. Any questions? Do you have any questions up now? Okay. Next. Okay. After everything, it's just simply like a building box. We can just uh, add everything one by one, step by step. And we can like first we can set up our jobs and run zones, steps, and each step we can add a name, users, or what are we going to run, and is there any parameters we need to pass, everything. So in here, there's something I need to mention. That is that runs on. Runs on means it's a sort of a virtual machine that GitHub give you a free and paid. We can get both. And it's run on the Ubuntu. So we have main three different OSs. Ubuntu, it's mean Linux, so Linux based OSs, Ubuntu, Mac OS, and Windows. So when it's come to the GitHub, you will get 3000 minutes per user for per user month. So most of the time, if it's a free, if it's a public GitHub repo, get unlimited. Okay, so you will get 3000 minutes. 3000 minutes per user per month if it is a private repo. And most of the time, it means if you are using Linux based runners, it will most of the time it will be unlimited. Okay, so keep in that mind if you are having a Apple, if you are having a simple like node project or APK, most of the time it will be free. But when it's come to the private repos, it will spend like quarter of this 3000. And most importantly, actually I learned this in the hard way. So if you are using a Mac runner, it will cost you 10 times. So the thing is, if you use the, I hope my text are visible, right? Yeah. Okay. So if you use 10 minutes on a Linux, it means it will spend like 10 minutes from your uh, action quota. But if you use 10 minutes on a Mac, it means 100 minutes. Because of that, my company lost every they lost the full quota in this month, and because I had to test some Mac runners and we are out of free quota, and we are like currently paying a lot for the runners. And beyond that, we have something called self-hosted runners. It means you can just set up a Linux or a Mac OS or any other, like if you are using Azure, you can only use Linux or Windows. And if you're going to use AWS, you can use Mac as well. You can set up your own VPS and you can just link that to the runs on as self-hosted. I will show that when it's come to the demo as okay. In the GitHub, you don't need to build from the scratch. Think like, think in here, we have checkout, setup node, like these are basic things like setup node or getting your code from the GitHub repo. Those kind of things, they are commonly used things. So in the GitHub marketplace, you can find lot of free written actions to use. So you can just use this using action, check out like the version and set up node version, and it will automatically set up node for you. So you don't need to like we have a lot of command, like if you are using Brave or something, like we have to Brave install this kind of thing and set up environments and everything. So we don't need to worry about those kind of things. We can just action set up now. That's it. Okay. So this is simple GitHub action in the marketplace, and this is the most widely used one, and it will get a copy of your code to the workflow. So that's the code you are going to build or everything. Simply, it is a Play Store, App Store for the GitHub Action Marketplace. And if you need, and if you, when you are building a project, if you need like something unique for your project, but you think it can be helpful for in the future, you can create your own action and push that to the GitHub Action Marketplace. And it will be a really nice open source project, and you can add that to your resume, and you can talk, because if you are doing such a thing, it means basically you are an expert in the GitHub Actions. So you don't need to prove yourself about I know GitHub Actions, right? That's something I do most of the time. Okay, these are the most used GitHub action in the world. Simply set up Node, set up Python, set up Java. Or when it's come to the performance, we are using Cache or think like, sorry, are there any Flutter developers? If you have any, please hands up. No any Flutter developer? Oh, really? No any mobile developers? I'm sad. Okay. What about Node or Next.js or Next.js developers? No one. Am I audible? Hey guys, am I audible? Okay. So guys, please interact with me. Otherwise, it will be like I'm talking to the screen. Um, Most of the time I ask bro the turn on your cams, but you can interact with me. That will be really helpful. Okay. Okay. So again, um, what is your framework or language you are using when you are like in this program? Are they developed, right? Sandeep, oh, Vishwa, are they developed any product or something?
No,
No. Then what is the purpose exactly?
it's like a
What?
pre-built DevOps runner. So we'll predefine the code snippets and all those things. They just need to deploy through the GitHub Actions and all.
Yeah, okay, nice. Okay, so no code, right? Okay. So when you are building those kind of things, so deploying those kind of things, you can use cache as well. I think I missed, sorry, I missed one key in here, one letter. Okay, action cache, and you can save that in your GitHub repo, so you don't need to get download things every time. And after that, you can upload any outputs to the artifacts, or you can create a release, or you can get details from that. Like if you need all release, you can just get it from there as well. And if you are using containers and dockers, you can simply log into that and work with them. Nice. Variables, give me a second. Okay, sorry. So in here, GitHub, we have three different variable type things. First one is GitHub variables. Then we have environment variables and GitHub secrets. So in the GitHub variables, it's like a simple variable we are set up in the top of the GitHub action workflow, and we can use anywhere in the application. Then we have environment variables. So it will stored in outside in your code, and you can use whenever you want. I will show where we are going to store those kind of things as well. And finally, we have GitHub secrets. Secrets means that password or encryption keys or environment like keys and login usernames and everything that we can't expose during the in the GitHub repo or during the action. So we can't never expose them to the public. So we are using GitHub secrets for store those kind of things. Again, we have GitHub variable. We can just assign them on the top of the workflow and reuse them. And like think like the time, the time we are going to run this GitHub action, we can just assign that to a variable and use it. Then environment variable, it is stored in your GitHub repos environment section, and we can edit them, we can see them, we can change them when you want, and get it like something like the build type. So it's we don't need to use that as a secrets or something. We can change it whatever we want, and we can go to the repo and watch it. And when it's come the password and everything, we are going to use GitHub secrets. I'm not going to talk about everything today. We don't have enough time to code everything, but I will do the basics, and after that, I will show you a repo that uh, had everything like the open public repo for you. This is a caching thing. So like we have first round, like 10 round, and when it's come to the time, we have to wait for a lot of things. And if we enable cache, it will be really easy, and we don't need to like really curved slopes. Like it will go smoothly without a lot of times, and be more productive and save us a lot of time in the GitHub quota, action quota. Okay, so this is the real world scenarios, and we can automate a lot of things. Like we can maintain the code quality, and we can automate reports, and we can create automatic releases and everything, and it's really stable. And finally, these are the some advanced concept when it comes to the GitHub Actions, especially Docker. So we can use containers and other things for uh, content. Like we can use Docker, or we can use the Azure container service or other things. So these are take some step to set up. Like we have to set up environment variables and environment secrets and everything. But it's better if you can read if you can learn these things. And metrics, like metrics means I'm not going to today talk about these kind of in the demo, but for your information. So metric means we can create a grid. So think like we have to run our application, test our application on Node 20, Node 30, sorry, Node 20, Node 22, and Node 16 in Windows and Mac OS. like in the we have like when we are testing those kind of things, we have to check about Node version 16, 20, and 22. And in the Windows, like Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11. I think Windows 11 is the last OS, right? I don't remember. Okay, so when it's come to that kind of things, we can just create a matrix and it will automatically, we don't need to duplicate the route, it will automatically do everything for us. And if you need, as I mentioned in the earlier, you can create your custom actions and you can publish it as well. Okay, for the demo. Okay, this is the example project. Please scan this and go to this project. Oh, this is me on GitHub. You can search me, Dineth Siriwardana. You can follow me or star me. Click here and add a star if you want. And so in my reports, you can see something like Git feedback. This is the one. So first click the fork. If you missed any step, just raise your hand or let me know in the chat. Okay, nice. Sorry. Okay, so you have to choose a owner. So this is the one by default. And you, when you are forking that, just uncheck that. You must copy everything. Let's see. Like we have 62 or at least 50 maybe. Are they going to do the demo with me or not? Are you going to do the demo with me or not? Okay. Or if you are not going to do it with me, I can just explain everything. Or if you are going to do the demo with me, I will wait and like wait for you to do it and go give you some times and everything. So we have two options. Again, click the fork button, choose the owner and uncheck that and create fork. Let's see. You can see the repo in the chat, so you don't need this QR anymore. Oh, nice. I thought you're going to do the Docker Hub as well, but you just need the basics, right? Okay, let's see. So I not get your point. What is the point of action triggered with pull request instead of full? Can you explain it a little more? Because we don't have a trigger called pull, but we have pull request. Nice. So in here, so now you must go to your click here and click repositories, and on the top you will see your uh, copy of Git feedback, not in mines. So click it, and in here, even you missed any of these steps, you can just go to the GitHub Actions section and do one by one. Okay, so you can just follow my steps. So in here, like I have the action, the full action. This is what we are going to test today. And the action readme, you have the like, sorry, give me a sec. So in the code section, in the action readme.md file, you will get everything like the basic things for a GitHub action with explanations and warnings and notes and everything. So okay, first go to the repo, your own one, and click the dot button. Give me a sec. Do we have any? No, I can't show my keyboard, right? Okay. Click the dot button, like is near that shift key, the right shift. And when you have press that dot button, it will open something like VS Code. It's a IDE. So you don't need any IDE like VS Code and Reality Cursor. For that, you can just use this one for your testing. And and in here, we have a section called Actions. That's the location. You see every action and everything you are going to run today. Okay, and I'm going to allow that. And there's a pop-up. Okay, retry. Okay, nice. And continue. In here, you can see under the GitHub folder, and inside that you can see the workflow folder, and we have two files. First one is testing, then we have main. So click the branch and move to the testing branch. That will be easy for us. So quick recap. Go to your code section, and you can change the testing branch from here. Then you can press that dot button. It will open in the VS Code in a web browser, or you can open it from the main branch and switch to the test branch from here. In here, you can see the example. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. Save it. And first, I'm going to name this name example. And in here, you can see we have a button called source control. Click here, and we need to add a commit message and commit and push. After you push that, go to the action section. You can see we got a new action, but it's failed. You can click it, but we don't have anything here. Invalid workflow file. Just a good start. Next, I'm going to on. So I'm going to on that and enter, then tab. After that, I'm going to add push. So it will be run when you are pushing that. And give them the branch name. You can set just branch and the branch name, but I prefer this because it'll be in the future that will be easy to change, right? Testing. Right. Nice. Then I'm going to save that and commit it and push. Let's see. Another action. Okay, nice. It failed. And you can click the workflow file and see the workflow file here and why it's failed and everything. So every action must have at least one job. Okay, simply you can set jobs and the example job, and I'm going to change this to the example action, otherwise you will get like we can add any name for that job. And in here we are going to runs on Ubuntu latest. So you can use any Ubuntu version. I don't have an idea about what is the latest version. I think it's 17 or I don't know, 17 or something, I don't remember. So by default, you can use, if you have not idea or if you don't have any specific requirement, you can use Ubuntu latest. But thing like if you are going to use a really old Node version or something, you can downgrade your Ubuntu and now downgrade your Node as well. In here, we are going to add steps. First step is I'm going to print hello world. So I'm going to give them a name, print, and run. Run mean it will run whatever what you are going to write after that double dots in the Ubuntu shell or the terminal. So echo hello world. So let's see, I'm going to copy this and open my terminal. And I'm going to click it. So you can see when you click hello world, you can see the hello world again. Like it's print it. So this is wrap. I'm using the wrap like terminal. It's a custom terminal you can use in Mac, Windows, Linux as well. That is really convenient. Like things like if we add something like hello world or something, you can just go through and click from the mouse and everything is really easy to use. I will put that link. I think we can send an invitation from here or something. Okay, so you can use it, and it has own AIs and everything, so it will be really easy for to use. Nice. So I'm going to commit the 10 pushed. Let's see in the action section what's going to. Okay. It's first. It's failed again. There is not enough to determine what you mean. Line 11. This is the important one. So I can just copy paste my code and show you how it's going to run. But that's not the important part. You must go through every line and every error that's going as a beginner you are going to do and how you are going to fix it. So thing is, in the first one, require properties missing jobs. Same as the second one, right? Now we have the job. But now it says there is not enough info to determine what you mean. Add one of these properties. Answer, run, shell, use, wait, all, which working directory. So in the line 11, ninth column, let's see in here. So most of the time, if you are a PHP or Z, or if you are familiar with those kind of things, if we saw something on the 11th chord, we must look with the above code, the line above the error one general. Like if we generated that, if we got that error from the 11th line, we must look in the 10th. But when it comes to YAML, most of the time it will be caused by the line that below the selected line. So you can see in the 11th line, call 9. It means this is the location, right? But when we go into the 12th line, there's a mistake. It means we can't use the what you call that dash, not dash, okay, so that small line in the front section. So we must keep it empty and add a tab for that. That's how we are going to debug side. Like when you are clicking the 11th line, and you can see here it's a 9 column, right? So there's data. Let's see. I hope it's work. No, I know that's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to refresh it again. Let's see. Okay, so now we have example and it's success on push, and it's take around 7 seconds to execute. Let's see. We have setup job. Okay, current runner version and runner image. You can see Ubuntu 24. That's the latest one. And we have the operating system, image, and everything. And in here is run this hello world one called echo hello world in shell. So it print hello world. Easy, right? Okay. Now we have different type of print method, like debug. So for printing debug message is some unique like annotation type thing. So first we need to set up 4 dots, and in the middle we have to set debug. Then we can add the message. This is a debug message. Nice. I'm going to save this and cut and push. Okay, let's see. You can see now we have 2 jobs, hello world and debug message. So it will show you as a debug, not just an echo. What happens? Let me see. Okay, so you can in here you can see view your prologue. When we read that, you can see everything what happens and everything here. So it will be really easy to identify that debug message. I don't know why it's not showing there. Okay, there must be a glitch or something. So I'm going to remove that hello world and everything, and I'm going to copy paste that basic element of a GitHub. Oh no. Okay, nice. So these are the basic element of GitHub variables, like environment variables. Like we can get the repository name, repository event name, ref actor, etc. So first let me run this. Okay. So in here you can see we have owner, the repo owner, and repo name, and the event. So it's a push. So what's the branch? And actor, the one who did that commit or something. Like owner can be your organization or anything, like someone else repo or something, but actor, that's who going to that's the one who did that commit or something to run this action, execute that action. And SHA means it's a unique ID that you will get in every commit. So you can use this as a release key or any other unique key that only refer this one. Like if you are going to create a version release, and you can embed that SHA key, so it's never going to repeat in the world. So it will really unique for that you. So you can use it. Like I'm using for the version control as well. So I can use that SHA key. So I know this is the commit number, commit ID. So if I had any errors, I'm going to go through that and revert that. Okay, so next. So everything that I'm going to talk today inside this document. You can go through that as well. Next, let me go through this project. So this is a simple feedback platform that's going to use Next.js, SQLite, and Tailwind CSS. And because of a Next.js project, we are going to use a Node. And is it that okay? Let me go to the code and show you the diagram. Okay. No, I don't have any diagrams about the repo work. So simply we have a database in SQLite files, so it will as work as any files, and we have a simple database scheme, and we use some optimization as well. And we have two tests. So we have crypto test. It will check the encryptions, and we have few tests to do test like basic database logic, like creating feedbacks and everything. Okay, give me a second to find my that repo in the local, because I don't remember the encryption key. Okay. Okay, I have it. Okay, I have that encryption. So we must, so before build this, we must have a encryption key embedded to the GitHub repo. So it will use that use that encryption key to encrypt the database. So no one can't read that, one cannot read that database without my key. Okay, simply in your settings, in your repo settings, not my repo, your repo, you will see secrets and variables. In here, under action, let me delete this one. Okay. Here we see you can manage environment secrets and repo secrets. So click the new repo secret, and inside you can add your secrets. For now, I'm not going to add that because I need you to show what's happened if we don't have something like that. Okay, so I'm going to delete all these steps, and I'm going to create a new steps. First one is the check out the repo. For that, I'm going to use, so previously use run. It will run on your terminal or some SHA, the shell. But now we are going to use some actions. Actions. It means it will go through the GitHub action marketplace and find this one and use that. Check out at version 4. This is the one. Then we are going to set up node. So let's go to this. So you can see this is the one we used for setup node. We have a lot of node versions and everything. And let's go. Then I'm going to install the dependencies. So in here, I'm going to use run npm CI, and I'm going to build project. For that, for now, I'm going to run npm run build. So I'm going to build this project without the environment key, encryption key. So, and I'm going to add name, test build, run npm run test. This is the basic setup. Let's see. I'm going to commit this. Oh, no. I delete that, right? Okay, no worries. I delete this one. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I dropped the rep message as a rep software as a direct message. So now you can see it. Okay. It's crashed. Okay. In the build project, you can see I have an error. Missing required environment variable encryption key. So I'm going to copy that key. I'm going to add that key to the GitHub Actions. So in here, I'm going to go to settings again, and under secrets and variable, click action, new repo secret, and secret name, and wow, okay. And I'm going to set up that key as something like this. This is my super secret feedback encryption key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to add that secrets. And in the action, I'm going to tell my build to use that. So in npm run build, I'm going to pass environment as encryption key. This is something important, okay? First, we must add the dollar mark. Then double curl brackets under secrets dot, we are going to add encryption key. So it will fetch that encryption key from here, actions, secrets, encryption key. Let's see. Okay, you can see it, check out the repo and get all the things and set up the node and install npm npm installs and build the project and test the builds. Okay, test failed, but you can see we passed all the test. Okay, sorry, we passed all the build, right? It build everything and go to the test build. Nice, but we have an error. The thing is, you can see encryption key environment variable is missing. So in here, we just add that environment key only to the build steps. So we need to add that to the test as well. Let's see. In the meantime, if you have any question, just drop me a message. Okay, it's complete. So now you can see we pass all the tests, right? So we don't need to worry about it. No. So all the test locates here. We have Pluto test and we have API test as well. It will test all the endpoints and everything. So we passed all the test. If we had any issue with any database or any other thing, it will fail the tests. So we don't have to worry about manual testing anymore. Nice. Now we have a fully project with all the builds and everything. Next, I'm going to think, okay, so we had 38, 26 seconds. Let's try to cache the nodes. So for that, in here, in the example, I'm not sure it will change the time a lot, but let's see. So we can add something like this. With cache npm. So then we can cache sorry. I can someone mute. And we can cache the build project builds Next.js build as well. So I will okay, just skip that. So we are going to just cache the npms, and before that, let's go to the actions, and we have all the caches. I think I have few caches. Okay, we don't have any caches. Nice. And I'm going to push that. Let's see. It's going to work or not. I'm not sure it's showing here, but let's see. Let's see. Do we have any caches here? No, this one actually just build cache by its own, but let's try to Okay, so next we are going to cache the node modules. So in here, we are going to add a name. Okay. Cache the node modules, and we need to add a ID, unique ID, and we are going in here. We are going to use actions cache like version 6. Okay, with we are going to add a path node module, and we are going to set up a key. So that will be the key we are going to use when we are using the build. So we are going to set up a variable. We are going to get the runner OS node. We are going to get the key as a runner OS, that node. So and the hash file. So it will be get that something called hash the file. It mean it will create a ID that commit ID is not a commit ID. It will get an ID for individual files. This means like in the node, we use something called package.log package.log.json file to keep all the versions in the project. Like we have the package.json file for set up everything, but in the meantime we are creating the node creating another file called package.json. It will store all the current version we use. Like even we add dynamically changing packages, it will keep that exact file for us, so we can keep that versions even developers publish new versions. So that's how it's worked. Like, give me a second, I will show that to you. So this is the package.json file. We have like beta SQLite, Next.js and everything. And in the log file, these are all the versions and URLs that we are going to download that and everything. So when we are using node install, it will refer this file and download that exact version. So if we delete that or change it, it will download that updated files. So I'm going to hash that JSON package log.json. So I'm going to hash file this one and hope it's work. Let's see. Okay. Before that, I'm going to I'm going to use them. Okay. So thing is, we just cached it. If we have that cache, I'm going to use that. It says really long code, and I'm going to copy paste it. So you can, if you need, you can get it from the README. So it will get node setup cache if we have any node builds. So it will in the GitHub workspace node.cache. So this is for the node modules. This is for the Next.js module. Okay, just forget about this. Okay, so we are going to cache the node modules and use that. Let's see. We don't have enough time, right? So while it's running, I'm going to remove that test part because I need to move that into a different section. But if you are going to remove that to a different job, we need to save that file. This is something we have to use in the always in the when you are using different jobs. So for that, I'm going to upload that build project to the artifact. So then I'm going to use actions upload artifact with I'm going to include name, next view build path dot next and include in files. I'm going to include all the in files because sometimes we have a lot of Node.js files like as a hidden file, so we have to include them. And attention days, this will keep that file for a 1 day. After that it will automatically delete, so you don't have to worry about the storage anymore. Okay, I'm going to commit that as well. Okay, so it cached everything properly. Let's see. Okay, it failed. Why? Code except format in the upload artifacts. So in the 35 line column 15, let's see. 35 column 15. Team is here. Name, path, all correct. Okay. So I think because we missed that build cache, just add that. Add that to the before build it. Let's see. Otherwise we have problem here. Next build, next hidden. In the line 35, right? Okay, so no. Okay, so the thing is, I just missed the version. Okay, so line 35 in here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, nice. So now we have full run one, like it's me. Just click here, upload build artifacts. Okay, it builds. Now file were found the provide path. Okay, we have something here, but let's skip that for a second. And okay, next I'm going to go for the test. So I'm going to create a different test job that will help us to create that test, so we can create a separate job for that. For that, I'm going to just copy the code and explain you what happens here. Don't have enough time. That's why. So in here, we have another job called test. So in here, let's use that version for now. Okay. So in here, we have another job called test. It will is named run test, but there's a new keyword, right? The build. So it will run only after the build done. So for now, I'm going to just comment that, remove that. And it will as same as the first one is you use Ubuntu latest and check out and set up node with cache and cache the node modules and install dependencies. And in here, we are going to download the build artifacts and run the key test. Okay, nice. Let's try this. Okay, so now you can see we have two parallel jobs. Let's see, we have example and run test. Install dependencies. Okay, something failed, but example is still running. Okay, it will upload the artifacts. So what happens here? The thing is, we need that build before run test, right? So thing is, it's a parallel job, so it will run parallelly. Just don't wait for the finish the job example that that the one build that project, and after build it will upload the artifacts. But the thing is, we don't have any because the test runs before the build. So we are going to add a keyword after the before the runs on called needs. So and we are going to add the build, and here I'm going to rename it. Okay, I'm going to rename this as a build, so easy to read. So we have build, and this will wait until build finish. Let's see. Okay, now you can see it's changed, right? It will wait until the build and run test. In the meantime, I will copy paste the code that create a PR. So PR mean pull request. So after all the build up and test are complete, we are going to create a pull request, it needs the build and test both jobs, and it will run on the Ubuntu list. And we need this permission to write an pull request, right? And if the pull request already exists, we just ignore it. And if not, we are going to get this, like we are going to create this PR. For that, let's check that is finished or not. Okay, now you can see both are finished. Nice. Okay, all finished. So it will upload the builds. Then the run test, it downloads the builds. Simple. So let's commit it. Commit it. In the meantime, if you have any question, just put it here. So let's see. Okay, let's see. We don't have any PRs. And I think that action failed. Okay, action goes well. And now you can see in the PR section, we have a new PR, right? Automated release PR after successful build and test pipeline on test branch. So that's what we call, right, in the body. Okay, so after that, if you need like you can add you can create a container, or you can just actually when it's come to deployment, I recommend using their own actions. Like if you're using Vercel, you can create a project, and in here you can select your repo. This will be really easy for you. Like we can import this, so we can add the environment variables from here. And you can deploy it from here. So it has their own CI/CD pipelines, same as the Azure and AWS as well. So it will be easy for you. Okay, before wind up the sessions, any questions? Still building. Okay. So I'm just going to show you how a real world action works in here. Okay, it works, right? So this is something you can use. So in here, this is something we used in real life. So this is my public template I released for Flutter, especially for CI/CD actions, because it's really hard to go through things like that. Okay, so simply, when I push something, it will build, test, and distribute. When we are distributing, we have two different environments, dev, production. In the dev, we have APK file for Android dev environment and IPA file for iOS dev environment, and a bundle for production in Android as well as IPA production in test flight. So we need to build 4 different files with four different environments. So something like that. First, we have to set up that bash and everything in our curl. So it's not a single action file, and we have a lot of environment variables as well. Like say, okay, so we have repository variables like app versions and GitHub secrets like basic dev environment files, and we need that Firebase one and Play Store ones and App Store ones and everything. So you can see there are a lot of steps that we need to follow. It's come to this kind of things, and these are the files. These are all the files. So you can see we have workflows. We have basic release file that's the one connect everything and linked everything. So it has few different jobs. And finally, we have build iOS is the one who going to build that IPA files for me. Like we have the version, prods and everything, and that it will upload. And for example, this is how it's work. Like we have jobs, build and upload. We have builds and uploads. So in the settings, finally in the settings, under billing and licensing, you can see usage. And this is the usage for this month. And in here, okay, let's see overview, click overview. And under the actions here, you can see this is the action storage and everything I used. So you can see the billing details as well if you need. So if we exceed these limits, we have to pay them. So if you are going to use Mac OS, just keep eye on them. Means if I run my Mac OS for 60 minutes, this will be over. So I have to pay for that. That's all for today. I hope you get an understanding about how the GitHub works, GitHub Action works, and basic things, and how to create a simple action. And you can use Vercel or any other thing. Just link your GitHub Actions, your GitHub repo for that. And before that, set up your actions by yourself to test and everything. So you don't need to worry about those kind of failures in the production. And if you have any question, it's time. Please take the meeting. Okay, so if they don't have any question, we can wind up this session. So if they don't have any question, we can wind up the session, right? Is there anything I need to fill up before this? Yeah. Is there any documentation for GitHub Action to learn more? Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of documentations. Let me share. So first, in the GitHub Action, you will, okay, in the documentations, you will get a lot of documentation about GitHub Actions, everything. So most of time, I hope I'm muted, unmuted, right? Okay. So most of the time, I prefer the documentation because they are updated and we have everything like about metric. If you need to learn about metrics, these are the everything you have to can learn about metrics. And if you need more than that, uh, you can like follow that free code camp. Like that is something really nice, right? It's explaining about everything again and again and again and again. And beyond that, if you need like to certified or something, you can go to the action exam. So in this action exam, it will be a MCQ exam. But you have to pay for that. You have to pay for that, and you can book that schedule your exam. It's not $99. It's around like 44 USDs. So in here, you can certify it, and you can, if certified mean you can prove you are know about GitHub Actions, not only the technical part as a something like a senior DevOps engineer. So, and in here you can see something like this. We'll put the link on the chat. So this is the basic GitHub automation syllabus for that exam. You can follow that, like automate develop tasks by using GitHub Action and everything. So you can start them and you can earn some learning uh, like badges or something from the learn as well. And if you need more than that, so you can see introduction or GitHub Actions. Let's see. A lot of GitHub things. Okay. Automate development tasks by GitHub Action. These are the things you can also, let's see about learning paths. And okay, these are the learning paths you can follow. So there are a lot of like load testing, and then like we had certification. It's not showing certifications, right? Where is that? We had some skill assessments. Sorry, applied skills. Let's see we have any applied skill on GitHub Actions. Okay, this is something you can do, like follow these things, and you can get like $100 for your student ID card. You can use your student ID card and get like $100 for Azure, and follow that. After that, you can take that test. It's fully free. It's like you can get it like you will have 90 minutes, 2 hour or 90 minutes virtual sandbox, and you can try everything here. Like they will give you something to do, and you can set up those things and pass that. Yeah, I will put that link as well. Okay, sorry everyone. So you can follow these things. If you can get that GitHub Action exam, that will be really wonderful. And if you don't have money, so you can do something like that. Create something using GitHub Action and release that. I'm still not release this one because I had some things to test. And you can create something, unique report like this, and add the proper readme and everything, and you can share it with the community, so they will check it and they will use it. And if there's any errors or issues, they will contribute to this, and that's something you can do. So any questions? Yeah, sure. Let's wait another, like let's wait like another 2 minutes, or just wind up the session.
Thank you, Mr. Dineth. If there are no further questions, we can go ahead and conclude the session today. So as we draw tonight's webinar to a close, on behalf of the Knurdz community and the Leo Club of the University of Maratua, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our guest speaker, Mr. Dineth Siriwardana, for sharing his expertise and leading such an insightful session on GitHub Actions with us today. We also extend a special thank you to everyone in the audience for your active participation and support throughout Deploy Sprint 2026. Whether you're preparing for the upcoming grand finale or simply here to expand your technical skills, we hope tonight's session provided you with practical tools to automate and streamline your future projects. And to our finalists, we wish you the very best of luck in your final preparations. And before we officially end the session, we have one small request. If everyone could please turn on their cameras, we would love to capture a quick group photo together to mark this wonderful session.
Okay, done.
All right. Thank you once again for being a part of Deploy Sprint 2026. We truly appreciate your presence and participation, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the night. Thank you.